Hello everybody and welcome to another class where today we're going to be looking at the passive voice for intermediate learners of English. Hi, my name's Dan and welcome to One Click Class where we teach professional English. Please hit the subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. So in today's video we're going to be looking at an introduction to the passive voice. We'll cover what the passive voice is and contrast it with active sentences. We'll then look at why and when we use the passive voice and why you need to know the passive voice. After that, we'll do a quick breakdown of how you can build your own passive sentences before finishing off with some practice. So, what is the passive voice? Well, in English, all sentences are either active or passive. The passive voice is where we take the object of an active sentence and use it as the subject of a passive sentence. For example, architects design buildings. That's an active sentence. And in the passive, that will become buildings are designed by architects. According to Raymond Murphy of Grammar in Use fame, we use the active voice when we want to say what the subject does. For example, Nissan employs 136,000 people worldwide. In this case, Nissan is the subject. But when we use the passive, we say what happens to the subject. In this case, 136,000 people are employed by Nissan worldwide. Let's look at a few more examples. Someone stole my wallet. My wallet was stolen. The builder hit me with a plank of wood. I was hit with a plank of wood. So you might be wondering, why don't we just use active sentences? What's the point of the passive? Well, according to Garner's Modern English Usage, there are 6 reasons why we might want to use the passive. Number 1, when the actor is unimportant. The house was built in the 19th century. We don't need to know who built the house. When the actor is unknown. My car was stolen. I don't know who stole it. When you want to hide the actor's identity or responsibility. Many mistakes were made. When you need to punch the word at the end of the sentence. The film was directed by Steven Spielberg. When the focus of the sentence is the thing that's being acted upon. For example, insulin was discovered in 1921 and it's still the only treatment for diabetes today. And finally, when the passive simply sounds better. Before it goes on sale, the car is given one final polish. So why do you need to know the passive voice? Well, as you can see, the passive voice can be a really useful way of expressing information. As a student of English, you'll need to understand the passive when it's being used, like now. It will also give you options as you progress with your English, helping you to speak and write in a more natural and potentially intelligent way. Have a look at this sentence, for example. I've been invited to a party and I don't have anything to wear. In this sentence, you might not want to reveal who's invited you to the party, or, you might think that it might not matter anyway. The important point in this sentence is that you need to find something to wear because you don't have anything to wear. Number 4, how to build passive sentences. Well, in part 1, we looked at this sentence. Architects design buildings. And we converted it to buildings are designed by architects. As an intermediate learner of English, you will often be asked to make passive sentences from active sentences. So first we need to identify the subject, the verb and the object. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Next, we need to take the object of the active sentence and move it to become the new subject of the passive sentence. In this case, buildings becomes the new subject. Then we need to determine the tense of the verb in the active sentence. In this case, it's in the simple present, so we say is. But if it was in the past tense, we would use was in the passive sentence. And after that, we have to put the main verb into its participle form. In this case, we have design. Design becomes designed. You might have to revise your irregular verbs for this. Finally, we've got to decide what to do with the original subject. In this case, it's necessary if the sentence is to have meaning. Buildings are designed by architects. But that's not always the case. Sometimes we might have a sentence such as, the rooms were cleaned yesterday. We don't need to know who they were cleaned by. So to finish up, let's do a bit of practice and build some sentences together. The council built a new shopping centre in the town. A new shopping centre was built in the town. They awarded the directors a huge bonus. The directors were awarded a huge bonus. They suspended him without pay. He was suspended without pay. They transferred him to another hospital. He has been transferred to another hospital. And finally, a horse kicked Steve in the leg. Steve was kicked by a horse in the leg. So there we are. How did you find those? Hopefully not too difficult. You'll see it gets a little bit more difficult as we change the tenses. I used mainly past tense here, but it could have been present perfect, past continuous. So whatever the verb is in the active sentence, you need to make a corresponding change in the passive sentence using the verb to be. I really hope you get some value from today's lesson. If so, please click the like button and subscribe button and put that sentence into the passive. The like and subscribe buttons were clicked. Did you get that? Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.